So, I've been reading about this whole FIA crackdown on cursing in Formula One. It's pretty ridiculous, isn't it?
Totally. I mean, it's not like they're swearing on live TV or anything. It's just a few curse words on team radio, and even those are bleeped out.
And it's not like the FIA is even consistent with their rules. They let Verstappen off with a warning for cursing in the past, but now they're giving him community service for it. It's just arbitrary and unfair.
It's like they're making up the rules as they go along. It's just a power trip.
And the worst part is that it's all about image. They're trying to make Formula One more family-friendly, but they're forgetting that the sport is already incredibly popular. It's not like they need to make it more appealing to a wider audience. They just need to let the drivers be themselves.
I think you're right. It's like they're trying to force Formula One into a mold that doesn't fit. It's not about being perfect, it's about being real.
Exactly, and the drivers are the ones who make the sport so exciting. They're the ones who take the risks, push the limits, and give us the thrills. We should be celebrating them, not trying to silence them.
I couldn't agree more. I hope the FIA realizes that they're making a big mistake by trying to crack down on cursing. It's just going to make the sport less exciting and less authentic.
I hope so too, but I'm not holding my breath. It seems like the FIA is determined to make Formula One more boring and more sanitized. And that's a shame, because it's a sport that deserves to be celebrated for its passion, intensity, and unpredictability.
Yeah, it's a shame, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Maybe the FIA will eventually come to their senses.
Exactly, and it's not like it's some new phenomenon. Drivers have been cursing on team radio for years. It's just part of the sport. It's the heat of the moment, you know. They're pushing their cars to the limit, and sometimes they get frustrated.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that. I mean, I've been known to let out a few choice words when I'm playing a video game, and I'm not even competing for millions of dollars.
Right, and it's not like they're doing it to be offensive. It's just a way of expressing themselves. It's like a release valve, and it's not like they're the only ones who curse. You hear it all the time in other sports too.
True. I mean, I've heard some pretty colorful language from football players and basketball players. It's just part of the game.
Exactly. So why is the FIA suddenly making such a big deal out of it? It seems like they're trying to make Formula One more sterile and sanitized. And that's not what the sport is about. It's about passion, intensity, and competition. And sometimes that means letting out a few curse words.
I agree. It's like they're trying to take all the fun out of it. Formula One is supposed to be exciting and unpredictable. And part of that excitement comes from the raw emotions of the drivers.
Exactly, and it's not like the FIA is doing anything to address the real problems in the sport, like the cost cap violations or the lack of diversity in the driver lineup. They're focusing on the wrong things.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's like they're trying to distract from the real issues by picking on the drivers for cursing. It's just a way of making themselves look good.